Hello, and welcome back to another episode. I well, this episode is much much later than I wanted it to go out. Part of that is because I got sick, but the bigger reason is because I got hooked on another game while I was sick. Yeah. But we're back here in the Desert Empire, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this episode because we are going to finish our inner wall. So I think we'll get back to it. Let's see here. Last episode, we did a lot of terraforming and added a cactus farm and pumpkin and melon farms, which looks like they've fully grown so far. So that's great. Let's see here. We did some. I don't think we did the road last episode, but we did add in some of the decorations around here, which is looking pretty good. Happy with that so far. This episode, I think we're going to do the wall here and kitchens area here along with the great hall. And we'll see how much time we have left after that. So, I think I'm going to start with the kitchens themselves and the watchtower that I'm standing in. And yeah, I think we're going to start it off pretty quick here with the time lapse. Oh, yeah, and before I forget, this build required the largest resource gathering session materialist stuff yet. So yeah, there's a lot that we're going to build today. So here we go. Well, it looks a little funny at the moment, being, half of a wall of what our Great Hall is going to look like, and kind of sort of the start of our wall here in this little section. But I think what we're going to do is have like a little, almost like a little patio area here, or maybe just a little like a servant's entrance or worker's entrance, employee's entrance, something like that down here, and a place that they can get deliveries, I think. And then they can enter here, which is where the storage room is. I like to think of the wool blocks as like bags of linen, maybe. Not sure what the concrete powder would represent. But yeah, I think the storage room kind of turned out well. I see this area as maybe more of like a spice area, or, you know, salt storage items that are used frequently in recipes, but in smaller quantities so that they last a lot longer. Versus, like, I feel like this would be like dried meat or potatoes or something along those lines. So yeah, and then up into the kitchens themselves. I figured they would have a couple of people back here doing the actual cooking, especially for big, full banquets in the Great Hall. So there would be several people cooking here, and they would set their completed dishes onto some sort of like transition table, and then there would be another set of chefs in the kitchen that would take the hot food from that the chefs gave right from the stove, and they would prep it onto some of the plates, and then they would be garnished or other items here on the table before being, you know, brought out into the Great Hall itself. The reason why we have two doors here, this door would be just for the king itself, himself, or the queen, the royal family, the whoever's up on the raised dais. Then this door would be for everyone else in the hallway, in the hall. And then this would be for like dry storage, so like cups. Suppose that would be like silverware. This would be stacked plates, lighting fixtures, candles for lighting too. And then I figured this would be spare chairs, so they could. It's an additional spot to store some extra chairs. So yeah, I think this turned out fairly well. Obviously, we have an entire Great Hall yet to do, in addition to, you know, walls. So I think I'm gonna sleep, and then I'll start working on the Great Hall here. The Great Hall is built now. So if we enter here from the kitchens, we can see the raised dais with the king's chair looking out over the banquet tables. And yeah, I like the chandeliers. I think the chandeliers are a nice touch. I may end up doing something different with the bottom because you can see that glowstone pretty dramatically. But yeah, I think this turned out fairly well. Pretty happy with it. I really do like this entrance. It's like a pop of the crimson color right in the front. I think that's great. Yeah, we've got like a glass stained window in the back with lots of open air on the side. This side is mostly closed off because the wall is going to be like right next to it. So if we go outside, you can see that all of a sudden we have a nice little wall out here, along with a kind of a nice path and a little bit of I don't know if this is like a garden area or just kind of a central front area. So yeah, I think this turned out pretty well. And I did complete the path going around to the bailey out front of our gatehouse. And I wanted to show off the gardens in here with our little entrance. I guess I picture this as kind of a spot for the kitchens to have a little bit of extra growing area to grow like the little bit of like herbs and spices that you don't need a whole lot of, but are a lot better fresh. And then some flowers and just some kind of nice area around here. And it wraps around here to well, I guess this would be behind the dais. And so you can look out on this area as well. So yeah, this is coming along pretty well. I still need to do that wall and the tower. And I think maybe a little cart here would be pretty nice too. So I think I'm going to just build this wall here pretty quick. And then we'll come back for the central tower. kitchen watchtower has now been completed, along with the wall here. This tower is a little bit more, shall we say, simple than some of our other ones. Like, there's no farm inside of it, there's no gate tower with a whole bunch of levels and stuff, and there's no big storage room inside. But we will go inside and just kind of take a quick look around. It's a similar symbol that's on some of our other buildings too. And basically it's just a staircase with a few balcony lookout for guards and for defense. And up at the top there's kind of a bigger area with maybe like a writing desk or a place to jot down notes for the log, for the watch. So yeah, that is pretty much the tower. And I did make one other change in that time. Well, I guess I also added a little wagon in here to indicate a spot for people to offload the items into the storage room, the dry storage in here, ready for the kitchens. And the other change is I went ahead and added a villager spot in here. So I've put in a butcher in here and pushed him all the way up to master, and he's got a nice little area in here. I picture this is like a freezer type place that the chefs and the butchers in the kitchen here would prepare some of the meat before the meal. So yeah, I think this turned out pretty well. As far as the overall area here in the Empire, we already have a ton of villager stuff. Mainly, farmers, more farmers. We've got clerics, we've got masons. I think there's a Fletcher in this building, if you guys remember. Yeah, there's our Fletcher. So I think what I want to do is this entire area, our entire empire here, we'll essentially turn this into our trading hall. So we'll have all of the different types of villagers in here. If we ever figure out that we need more, like let's say for whatever reason we need like 15 toolsmiths for whatever reason, then we can, maybe we'll build a bigger building outside of the walls and put a whole bunch of villagers out there. And as such, I think I will probably add a library out here somewhere. I have no idea where, but maybe that's what we'll end up doing. And I kind of say all of that mostly in reference to our port over here. This is an area that I want to kind of turn into a port, and it'll be a spot that ships are able to come in and out of, and the Empire is able to conduct trade here. Over here on the far side of the port, I think it'll be a good spot to put in a big tower as like an additional security defense area, and it's looking out over the entire port. And I think we'll put a cartographer up there, and then because it's a port, it's dealing with rivers and water and trade and all that stuff, we'll probably put a fisherman in here somewhere. I don't know, maybe we'll do a couple of different buildings for fishermen. Hi, patrol. So yeah, that is kind of my rough plan for this area moving forward. Is we'll essentially turn it into a giant trading hall, but each of the different jobs or the different villagers will just be separated out a little bit farther than a standard trading hall. And I don't know, maybe we'll have a whole bunch, maybe we won't have a whole bunch of each type. So yeah, that is the plan. Before we call it an episode, I did want to say that I have been making some progress here on our nether tunnel. Behind me is the direction towards the Empire, and I am heading towards the Dwarven Kingdom. And I've got a quite large section here already kind of prepped and ready to go. Pretty much the only thing that's left is the blue walls, and then like the floor and the back splash here. So, yeah, we're making progress here in the Nether still. And, yeah. That will probably do it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.